It's flippin' frenzy time. I cannot believe this got here so quick, but you guys, it's all about beating the winter blues. We are taking a suitcase, upcycling it, and creating a vignette with it. So kind of a twist between our Deck the Chairs that we did with Sonnet's Creative Makers Group and our Flippin' Frenzy. So this is my suitcase. I'm gonna be painting this. And I don't know how yet because I haven't looked at what I got in my box. Sylvia sent me my box and I am just now going through it. So let's look together. Oh, look at this, you guys. Chippy, crusty, rusty, love, love, love. We will definitely be using that. And then we've got a bottle holder, little crate. Those are always fun to upcycle. Oh, y'all, you know I am using this. This is gorgeous, Sylvia. It's gorgeous, and I know this had to be hard to let go. You love your silver plate. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that I'm definitely doing something with. And then we've got, a little, I can't read it, but it's just a little restaurant-ware plate and a little bucket. Let's see what we can do.
So for project number one, it's actually going to be my suitcase for this. So we decided for this Flippin' Frenzy to style it with a suitcase, and that's what I'm going to do. So my vignette, I am taking this vintage suitcase. These are not stickers. These were like embedded into the plastic, like actually part of it. They didn't sand off. They were smooth. I'm just making sure of that. And then we're going to go over this with 2 coats of apothecary paint by DIY. And while I'm painting this, let me introduce myself. My name is Sandra, and I'm the owner and creator here at Midwest Charm. I specialize in repurposed, upcycled vintage home decor, as well as all of your DIY crafty needs. I carry DIY paint, Sweet Pickins milk paint, Iron Orchid designs, recycled treasures, Connie lines and designs, and more. And you can find all the items I'm using today at midwestcharm.co. And you can also find us on all of the social medias. Everything is also linked below in the details section, so make sure you check that out. I have direct links to make it super easy for you. As you can see, I'm getting amazing coverage. So I do still end up doing the 2 coats because I really wanted to make sure that if this distressed back any at all, it wasn't too blue. And I am loving this color on here. And you can see me starting out here being really careful. And then I just decided to go over the stinking latches, and I decided I would just wipe it off with a baby wipe later, since this paint is so easy to wet distress. So we are trying to beat the winter blues with our flipping frenzy this go round. And the most immediate thing I thought of was roses and Paris, and I don't know why, but that's where I went with this little vignette that I am putting together. And you will see that here with the transfers that I chose. So I dug out, I believe it is Rose Botanicals, and I have that one in stock. And then I also used the brocante, and I used bits and pieces of that for all of my projects today. And I may have even pulled out one from Katharina for the 2 pictures that I'm doing to go with this. And so once I get these out, and I knew I kind of wanted to go with a pink theme, so I tried to stick with mostly pink colored roses. And we are going to just go ahead and apply them. And if you have ever used one of these, you know they're super easy to use. So with the Iron Orchid Designs transfers, you just peel off that backer, place the item where you want it, and they all come with this plastic stick for the applicator tool. And then you just rub down over the part that has the design and peel back that grid cover. And this is so easy. If a part should come up that didn't apply the first time, you just lay it back down and rub it a little bit more. I did not seal this before I started. I did not want to have to seal it twice. So what I did is I painted my two coats on and then I let it sit. And then I think it was like 2 days that I let this sit before I was able to get back to it. And as you can see, I had zero problems with any of my projects today. Super easy. And here I am putting on another one. I'm not showing you the full transfer project process because I have done that in plenty of videos. And with our flippin' frenzies, we are limited to under 20 minutes. So there are certain parts of this that I do end up having to cut out. So I apologize for that. But trust me, I have plenty of videos where you can see me applying these. And here is where I decide, okay, let's throw some Paris in there. In the brocante transfer, there is a couple clock faces. I love clock faces. So I chose this one that's a real pale gray with a little bit of white in it. And I'm putting that like at an angle up in the one corner. And then I also cut out the Eiffel Tower and applied that. And that is a really, really tall one. So what I did is I placed it where I wanted it and just draped it over the edge and applied that down on the bottom as well. When going over the edge with one of these transfers, it's just important to go really slow. So there's a little lip there, and that's where I'm going to apply it first and then come up and around to the top. But then on that rest of the bottom part, I wish I would have tipped this up for you guys. I apologize. I'm just going little section by little section with the different textures to make sure it applies on each one. And then we get up to that top part and do the same process that we did before. And I do seal all of these projects up off screen. I did not share that with you, but I do go over all of these with Big Top because I like the sheen it has for these projects and it's a great protector. And we just went over that with one good coat and that seals in our transfers and our paint. And because this is a clay-based paint, it does need to be sealed in. Now, while I think this is absolutely fabulous the way it is, I did decide that on the back side I was going to add one more large floral. And I did apply that going a different direction so that if you wanted to use this as a like a backdrop or like a tiered tray type, not tiered tray, my bad, like a riser situation, you would be able to see those whether you have the side with the Eiffel Tower or this side up. So you could stand it up. You'll see in this and pictures, which reminds me to tell you, hang out to the very end to see my final results for each piece and my final vignette for my Flippin' Frenzy Beat the Winter Blues. Now, for my box, I got my goodies from Sylvia and I sent mine to Connie, the painted photographer, and I have not yet seen what Connie did with them. I'm really excited. I will have to admit, I don't even remember what I sent her. So, project number two was one of the items that I got from Sylvia, and I wish I had had more time because there was so many good things in this box. There's two other pieces that I can't wait to do something with. So we are going to go over this little watering can with tickled pink. And when I first started painting this, I was going to leave that top rim, the handle, and the bottom rim alone. Now this has some amazing rust and patina on it that I kind of wanted to preserve too. So on those areas, I only went over with a really light coat of the paint and I do distress back on that before I seal this up. So as I'm going along, I'm realizing it is quite ridiculous for me to try to go around that edge. It just because the paint on it wasn't quite even. So I just decided, what the heck, I'm going to paint everything. So I do end up painting that bottom lip and the top part and the handle all pink as well. And this does get, I took about a coat and a half. It dried pretty quick for me, and because it was, that white color, it did go on really easily for that second coat that I did. And when I say a half coat, it's mostly either a really light coat or sometimes it's just like a spot check type situation. So we get this all finished up, and then we're going to add some transfers to this as well. Now, sometimes with curved surfaces, you end up having to kind of finagle your way around with this, but this was actually pretty easy to get on here. And I think the colors go beautifully with this pink. I love, love, love it. I'm just going to go over this with the tool, just like I did in the last one. And like I mentioned, I do go over this with a really, really fine grit sandpaper. It's actually one of the blue sanding sponges that I have linked from my Amazon affiliates link below. And I go over that where the rust is and over the transfer to make it look like it's been on there a little bit longer. And it distresses back to that pretty white. You guys, this turned out so beautiful. I love it so much. This will get a plant in it for sure. And again, hang out to the very end to see the final results. Project number three is pretty simple. So I got this gorgeous restaurant ware little platter from Sylvia, and it had some paint on it. So I just went ahead and wiped that up. And while I was filming this, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do with it. And I debated on leaving it plain because I'm kind of obsessed with this plate and I'm definitely keeping it for me. But in the long run, I did decide to apply a transfer to this as well. It's from the Brocante transfer, and I'm not going to show it because, again, it was very last second decision. And once I put it on, I sealed it up with a coat of Big Top, and it was good to go. You will see fabulous pictures of this at the end, I promise. And then for project number four, Sylvia sent this beautiful silver plated, tarnished, patinaed pitcher. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is stunning. And I normally like to paint over these and distress back, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't paint over that beautiful patina. So what I decided to do was just to do the cute little feet on this piece and the handle. And I do go over this with two coats of crinoline by DIY. And then I do take a baby wipe and just stress it back so you can see all the beautiful details in that handle and in the feet. And then I apply, yes, some transfers. And yes, I believe that is roses on this one too. And this one, I did take the time to cut in little, why can't I think what they're called? Little like hash, like just lines in around the whole thing because we are going on a very curved surface. And to get it to lay flat, this really helps darts. That's what they're called, you guys. Oh my goodness. So we're going to put these little darts in there and cut off half of the backer, lay this where I want it, and just work from the center out into each one of the little areas that are cut into chunks. And I don't know if you can see very well the fact that these little chunks are on there, but I just work one chunk at a time so that each one lays flat and it goes on with no wrinkles that way. And I do still go over and burnish this at the very end to make sure there's no air bubbles in there. And once I get this part all laid down, I do flip that back and I lay down the rest of this transfer. But I want to make sure that that first half is on there really, really well. So this is four projects. Oh, I do go over this, the handle and the actual body of this picture with some Big Top as well to protect and seal in that transfer. And again, the DIY paint is clay-based and most definitely needs to be sealed in. So I do go ahead and give this one coat of Big Top to seal it up. And that's it for my projects. I'm going to show you my final results. You guys make sure to hang out and check out everybody else's videos in the playlist that will be linked below. These are always so much fun for us creators to do with the live chat and being able to interact with you guys. So I really hope that you check everybody's videos out and hang out with us live as we do these. It's so much fun. If not, I'm so glad you watched. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for supporting me. And I can't wait to see for you guys to see my final Beat the Winter Blues vignette. Let me know if this would help you beat the winter blues too.